Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, today, I want to talk about this video that I actually came across yesterday, and I'm mad that I didn't do a video on this yesterday like I was supposed to, but I was actually busy. Now, it makes it a little more interesting now because the video that I actually seen that was explaining all this is now deleted off YouTube. Alright, so that kind of like lets me know that it was definitely some truth to that. I don't know if maybe somebody hit boy up and told him, listen, you shouldn't be talking about this on YouTube. You let a little too much business out. Please take that down. Whatever the case may be, it's taken down off of YouTube. And usually when it's like that, it's probably because he was saying too much and exposing way too much. Alright, now if you didn't read the title, like I know most of you actually did, we're talking about the 051 Melly situation, right? This guy, I forgot his name. That's how bad. I'm actually upset that I didn't do this video yesterday, but I was busy. But this video is pretty much about the dude who was talking about 051 Melly, and he was explaining the real reason that I've never heard as to why 051 Melly was murdered. Now, a lot of the times, all we hear is, yo, he shot up Nate's baby mother's house with his kid in there. He did this, he did that. They were scared of him, right? So they always tell us that, yeah, he shot up Nate's house with his mother, his baby mother and his daughter in there, or his child. But they never say why. And oh my, listen, this guy broke it down so well. So it kind of puts in perspective why the video was actually deleted. I don't know if he was releasing too much business, too much info. And like I said, somebody told me, yo, listen, you are saying way too much. Delete that. But it was up yesterday and then it was deleted within like the same day. So I've caught pretty much most of it. So I'm going to just let y'all know. Because like I said, I was going to do this video yesterday. So I took my notes and all that. And I was going to do a video on it based on it yesterday, but I didn't. So like I said, it got deleted. So now the news is probably just going to be fresh to y'all because I was going to post a link to the video, but I can't even do that no more. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to tell you exactly what was in the video. And after I tell you what was in the video, I'm going to give you my feedback based on, you know, the information that we was given, because this is new information to me. And I actually seen the video in which he describes that Melly was playing. Listen. First of all, before we get into it, like I said, y'all just like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And don't forget to join the anonymous gang. Alright? We the littest gang on YouTube. Now, like I said, we always heard of how Melly was shot up Nate's crib. And being that the reason they got down on him in the party, that was pretty much the reason. But we never heard the reason why. And to be honest, the story, it wasn't official as to what happened, but it seems very, very valid. And being that they deleted the video, it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, Melly's death was simply over a dice game. I'm going to just get it out right then and there. He lost his life due to peer pressure, pride, ego, and a dice game. So to sum it all up, judging from what dude was saying in the video, FBG Cash had a video shoot in which Melly was present along with a member of Taekwon World that we all know that they was all cool with, which happened to be Nate. Now, Nate ended up shooting dice with Melly and ended up losing, but didn't have the money to pay Melly. Now, if you're from the hood, you know situations happen like this all the time. Very often in the hood. People lose their lives, unfortunately, all the time due to gambling in the hood, especially dice games. But anyway, it says, pretty much he was saying Nate wasn't no real friend of Melly, but Melly was cool with the older dudes that was Nate's big homie, which was like STL and Gyro World. So he kept telling them like, yo, get my money back from him or else I'm gonna get it back the only way I know how. And we all know Melly for being a Grim Reaper, so I'm assuming the know how part comes with consequences. Alright, whether it was get it back in blood or whatever, but he's gonna get it back. Now, he spared the young boy because, well, Nate, because he was cool with STL and Gyro World members, like I said, but they failed to get the money back. So Melly took actions into his own hands by shooting Nate's crib up, in which had his baby mother and his child inside. Now, I'm sure that Melly didn't know that his baby mother was inside. I'm sure that he didn't know that his daughter or whoever was inside. And Melly wasn't no stupid dude. So judging from the type of person Melly was, I don't even think that he would have even shot the crib up knowing that a child was in there. Or maybe he was that gruesome. But like I said, from the outside looking in, I don't think he would have did that. I just don't think he would have did that. But these are the consequences that come when you playing with a person of his caliber. You know these are the type of consequences. And not only that, if you know, rule number one in the hood, if you owe somebody money, especially a dude you know that's really like that, you got to pay that man. He's not wrong for wanting his money. You see what I'm saying? So you owing this man money and you pretty much telling this man you ain't giving it to him or you ducking him. A person who you know is like that, come on, you know you playing with fire. So that's your fault, Nate. But anyway, as I watched the video, I wondered the same thing that the dude was saying. Because the messed up part is he said he feels that Gyro and STL could have gotten Nate to give Melly the money back, but they just didn't do it. And that's the same thing I was wondering. My thing is, if I'm cool, that's like me being cool with one of these young boy big homies and we sitting there and we shooting dice. If I know my little homie owe him money and I know he's really like that, I'm gonna make sure he gets his money back. Whether he's like that or not, I'm gonna just make sure he get his money back, because not only that, we look bad because this is our little homie. And not to mention, if I care about the little homie like that, I don't want nothing to happen to him, because I know that this man is on that type of time. So I don't want nothing to happen to him. We might just pay that debt for him. But like I said, the real question that comes to my mind after knowing that they could have got that money back but didn't, the real question is why? Why didn't they make Nate give the money back to Melly, knowing he was rightfully owned? They was shooting dice. If you ain't got no money, you shouldn't be in the dice game, period. But you was. So now you wrong. You got to get that man his money or else. You see what I'm saying? Or why didn't they pay that debt for him and then take it up with Nate later, being that they knew him and they knew that like that's his little homie. That's their little homie. So pay that debt for Nate, because you don't want nothing to happen to him, unless you really do low key. Right? It's a whole bunch of flip sides and devil's advocate that we could play with this. But why not pay Nate's, bill to Melly and then take it up with Nate later, being that that's your little man? But it's a lot of questions that we gotta add that we could be sitting here asking ourselves. And also, you gotta remember that a lot of them were only cool with Melly off the strength of Duck, because it seemed like a lot of them was intimidated by Melly, of course. And then, like the guy mentioned, they already had a situation with Melly before, but being that Duck kind of mended that situation, you see what I'm saying? They was, I guess, cordial. Taekwon World, all of them, they was all cordial. But at the same time, y'all also got to remember that Melly's family tree stretched long as well. He knows a lot of people. He has a lot of family in high rankings. That's another reason why Melly felt so comfortable in doing the things he do. Not to mention, he was a demon too, but he felt comfortable doing a lot of things that he did because he had family everywhere that was actually like that as well. But I know this. I know about people. I know when people is intimidated, they either don't want you to be around because they don't want, they don't know what you on. They don't, when somebody's intimidated, they don't want you around them because they can't be themselves. They can't be that tough guy in the clique or something like that, because they know that you gonna put them in a place. Or they hoping somebody get rid of you because they don't got the heart to do it themselves, and they feel pressure every time you're around. So, understandable. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if someone we don't know, or someone who was cool with Melly but was afraid of him, actually put the battery in Nate back as well to do what he did at that party, because Nate don't seem like he on that. You could tell Nate was scared and didn't want to do what he did. That's why he fired so many shots, because he had to. He had to make sure the job got done, because he know if Melly didn't die right there, it was over for him. He know that. So he had to make sure the job got done by any means necessary. And he did it in broad daylight. Not broad daylight. Y'all know what I mean. Did it in a big party with everybody around. So that lets me know that he was scared for his life. But like I always say, man, there's a couple lessons we could also learn from this as well. All right. The most toughest dude, the most gangster, the most demonist dude can get taken out by somebody who isn't even really like that. But guess what? Peer pressure and fear made Nate do that. And why I said peer pressure, because the dude was explaining in the video how after Melly shot up Nate's crib, because you know everybody knew it was Melly, his baby mother got in his head. His baby mother was talking to him crazy, like, yo, you how you gonna let him do that? How you gonna let him shoot up the crib with me in the crib, your child in the crib? How you gonna let him do that? So at the end of the day, peer pressure could crumble somebody. Trust me, if you're a weak person, peer pressure could mess you up internally. It could mess with your pride. It could mess with your ego. Peer pressure can make you do things that you do not want to do, and you know it's not right, but your peer pressure is messing with you. And that's what Nate's baby mother did to him. She tricked him off the streets. She tricked him. Melly was comfortable in that party because of who he was. And he knew at the same time Nate and them was not on that. They've been had altercations before. So that's why a lot of people be like, yo, Melly was lacking. Well, yeah, because they had altercations prior to that. And they didn't do nothing to Melly before. So now, like I said, I don't think Melly should have been that lax, but I understand why he was so comfortable, because he knew dudes, or so he assumed, dude wasn't going to do nothing because they had prior altercations before in which they did nothing. But guess what happened? This time, Nate got peer pressured by his baby mother. That's the difference. Peer pressure plays a major role. A major role. But now look, this kid was peer pressure into doing something he really didn't want to do, and now he also got a bunch of time in jail for it, in which the same baby mother that peer pressured him into doing it could no longer see him, or his kid can no longer see him on the streets. Now you got to see this man through a thick glass in a prison cell somewhere. You see how that happens? Two birds on one stone knocked off. Melly is now in the grave. And now this man is behind bars. Both tricked off the streets, man. Over a simple dice game. It's no telling the amount of money he probably owed him. I'm sure it was petty. But guess what? It's principle. It's principle. So, like I said, man, this is a lesson that a lot of us can learn. At the end of the day, it don't matter how tough you are, it don't matter how big you are, there's always somebody tougher. And I tell people that all the time. You got mafians, you got mobsters, hitmen that was taken out. They got bodies under their belt. And there's no discredit to Melly. I'm just saying, man, we got to realize sometimes the streets and all that, it ain't it, man. If you are in the streets, make sure you doing what you got to do to stay protected at all times. Don't be foolish. Don't be comfortable. Don't ever get comfortable. Peer pressure is probably the number one killer when it comes to them streets sometimes. You know how much people is out there doing things they do not want to do? You know how much people is out there selling drugs, doing things illegally just to keep up with the Joneses because of their ego, because they want people to perceive them in a different light. They want people to think they got it. Come on, man. You know how much people was killing people out of peer pressure and fear? We got to wisen up. And before we get out of here, man, I'm going to leave it at that. But at the end of the day, another thing I wanted to bring up, your boy Lil Durk, man, how he be throwing subs at Melly. You see what I'm saying? Like he has something to do with this, with Melly getting knocked off. That's weird to me. You know why? Because if you really pay attention, the whole time Melly was on their head, Durk wasn't going to Chicago. Soon as Melly got knocked off, boys start doing videos and popping up in Chicago. Now, I'm not saying he never went, because I know y'all going to be in the comments, oh, he was doing this. He might pop up, but he wasn't shooting videos. Like, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't chilling. He wasn't doing none of that. Melly was on these guys' heels. They know it. It is what it is, man. Wisen up, man. If you in them streets, wisen up. But moral of the story is, we didn't know why Melly shot Nate's crib up. We didn't know why, the real reason to why Nate did what he did. But now we know. Moral of the story is this. Nate owed him some money from a dice game. He refused to pay. Melly shot his crib up. It had his girl, his baby mother, and his child inside. So when they seen Melly at the party, and even though Duck told him not to go to the party, told Melly not to go to the party, he still went. They seen him and they got down on him because his baby mother peer pressured him into it, got in his head, told him that he's less of a man, told him all this bullcrap that made him feel low and less of himself. So he had to get back. He didn't feel right unless he got back. I know Nate probably feel good about himself sitting in that cell because he think he did something right, because he proved the lesson. I mean, he proved the message to his wife, his girl, whoever she is. But he's behind a cell without seeing his children, man. Without seeing his shorty, without seeing his family, without having his freedom. I'm gonna leave that there, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. I'm saying it because I'm flustered behind this. And the fact that the video was even deleted lets me know that is some type of validation to this. So y'all let me know how y'all feel, man. Was Nate smart for doing what he did because Melly did shoot up his crib? Should have Melly have shot up his crib? Or should he just fell back? But, you know, nobody knows. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.